you are expected to go to university, but there's no money to take you to university. Yeah. So as a result, I finished matric. And in fact, when I was doing matric, is the same year that I started going out with my wife.
Hey!
So, I was 17, she was 15. In fact, maybe even a bit younger than that.
Where did you guys meet? Were you still in Lesotho at the time?
No, at the boarding school in Marion Hill.
Marion Hill, okay.
Which was a Roman Catholic, boarding school. So that's where we met. And we started going out there. Anyway, and then I didn't have money to go to university. I didn't even know what I was going to do. Ended up working in a clothing factory as a laborer for a couple of months. And then I was applying for bursaries and things like that. Eventually got a bursary to be trained as a land surveyor. And that bursary provider sent me to go and experience what land surveying is all about. So I was posted to Msing, Tugela Ferry.
Yes.
And I was a land surveying technician, 17 years old. It was a lot of fun, working in the fields. We were building roads, and I was staying in a construction camp on the side of the road. Yeah. Which, from a young person who comes from a township, suddenly you're in this dark. There's no electricity. There's nothing.
Very rural, MC.
And you're living in a hut, essentially, in a construction hut, temporary structure. And that gave me a lot of time to reflect about who am I, what am I here, why am I here, what am I going to do, what is my life going to look like. I used to keep this journal, and I used to write every night, about my experiences during the day.
You remember when that started, the journaling?
Yes, it started. So I was there from June of 1975.
Yeah.
So I was keeping this journal. It was a small little journal, diary actually, and I used to write notes.
So it started spontaneously?
About what I was thinking every day. And there were fun, moments, because, as an example, I love cars. And they taught me how to drive big yellow metal machines, tractors, graders, as we were building the roads and projects that we were busy with there. And then you drive big trucks, like Code 10, Code 11 trucks, which for a 17-year-old who loves cars was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But there were also issues there. Like, for instance, when you're clearing forests and you're building a road, you're going to come across dangerous snakes, mambas and so on. And that petrified me. And working in that area, if you know Tugela Ferry, Msing, it's in a valley. So the Tugela River flows past the little town. And it's really hot there during summer. It's extremely hot. So you in this corrugated iron shack, which is where you stay, right? And then there are snakes and all sorts of things. And I'm like, no, this is not going to be my life. If this is what land surveyors do, I want to sit in an air-conditioned office.
Hey.
So my elder brother said, no, maybe you must go and do a BCom, because I don't know exactly. I don't know much about careers and what I'm going to do and so on.
But you just know snakes are not for you.
And the hot climate is not for me. And I want to sit in a nice air-conditioned office.
We potentially missed out on a super engineer in you if the climate was allowing.
Maybe, But anyway, essentially because you're quite right, because, I like fiddling with things. Yeah. I like to know how things work. Yeah. So at home, I was always breaking things. Whether it's a radio or whatever it is, I'm going to open it up and I want to check it out and see how it works and try and put it back together. And often I mess it up.
Yes, right? So, but that's the foundation of curiosity and learning and building.
Yeah, I'm still like that today. I just know, I like knowing how things work, whether they're cars or gadgets or whatever they are.
Yeah.
So anyway, cut long story short, I applied for a BCom at Fort Hare, ended up at Fort Hare University, which is where my father had been.
Okay.
And, and that year, 1976, was a year that Professor Wiseman Kutlu qualified as the very first chartered accountant. He was a lecturer at university. And he didn't lecture to us, he lectured to senior students and so on, but he became an enigma. And quite a few of us wanted to be like him.
Makes sense.
And ended up then changing from BCom marketing to BCom accounting.
Directly because of the influence of Prof. Wiseman?
Yes.
Beautiful.
And that's how I became a chartered accountant.
One of the first as well.
Well, I was the sixth in the country.
Jeez.
African.